If you're an iPhone fan or maybe a content creator looking for a budget iPhone to start creating video content with, then just stick around because we are about to dive into one of the most underrated iPhones out there, but I mean it's actually the best iPhone where you can start using to create video content. I've actually been using this particular iPhone to create video content since in the year 2021, and this phone is 4 years now, and till date I'm still using it to create video content. So in my own opinion, based on my own personal experience, I believe this is the best iPhone, and this is iPhone 12 Pro Max. So make sure you watch this video till the end, and trust me, you don't want to miss any part of this video. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why talk about iPhone 12 Pro Max in 2025 or 2026? Well, let me tell you, this phone is still a beast, and here is why. Build credibility and reliability. I've used plenty of iPhones from iPhone 11 to iPhone 13 to iPhone 12 Pro to iPhone 14 Pro Max and many other iPhones, and I can tell you for a fact that no camera compares to the one on iPhone 12 Pro Max. I've shot hundreds of videos with this particular device, and it's always deliver. If you're serious about content creation using a budget iPhone, this is actually one of the best options out there, if not the best. Speaking of durability, this particular phone has survived serious drops that could even damage this phone. I've used a couple of smartphones. I've used iPhone 14 Pro Max that dropped for a bit. The drop was not even significant. It was just from my couch, which is even quite closer to the ground, and before I realized, the back glass and the screen was totally damaged. And not like I'm a careless person actually, but recently the amount of drops this phone has actually faced is enough to get this phone damaged. But if you check this phone, I don't have a single dent. I've used this phone for complete 4 years now, and if you check it, it's still as fresh as a new phone without any dent. This is to show you that iPhone 12 Pro Max is actually very strong and durable. So on the internet, I've come across quite a number of videos about how maybe iPhone XR or XS Max or some iPhones in the X series as being budget iPhones where you can use for video content and it's going to give you great quality. But yes, they might be right, but the fact that I've not used any of the X series iPhones to shoot video content, I don't think I can speak to that, right? But they might be right. But the fact that I am recommending iPhone 12 Pro Max is because I have used quite a number of iPhones. Like I mentioned earlier, I've used 11, I've used 12 Pro, I've used 13, I've used even 14 Pro Max that is way higher than this, and I cannot compare any of those cameras. I cannot compare the durability. I can't compare any of the iPhones I've used, right? I'm not going to tell you that this phone is better than maybe 15 series, like maybe from 15 to 15 Pro Max. I'm not going to tell you that iPhone 12 Pro Max is better than maybe 16, but you see iPhone 12 Pro Max is better than 13, it's better than 14. I've used 15 to shoot, but not like it's like using it to shoot video content, maybe some random videos, right? I've yet to make use of 15, but I believe 15 has a great camera, but I'm not going to recommend something I've not used, right? Using this phone for 4 years and using a couple of other iPhones and even some iPhones that are being considered as being higher in grade than iPhone 12 Pro Max, I can categorically tell you that this is actually the best iPhone. So what's your current phone and what can you say about the camera quality? And let me also know in the comments below if you are using 12 Pro Max already, or if you are using 13 and you feel like maybe 13 has a better camera, or the 13 series, 13, maybe 13 mini if there is, 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max. Let me know if you feel that the camera is better. And for you to be able to tell me that the camera is better, you have to tell me that you've used 12 Pro Max before, right? Just if you used 12 Pro Max before, try and compare the camera with 13 that you are currently using and even 14, right? So before you say iPhone 14 or maybe 13, 14 cameras are better than 12 Pro Max, make sure you've used 12 Pro Max before, right? So let me just know in the comment below, do you think that your current iPhone or maybe smartphone you are using currently to shoot video contents, do you think it's giving you what you want? As for me, this is actually the best until I'm able to have hands-on experience on maybe 15 and 16 and even the 17 series, then I would be able to tell. But since I have used 14, 13, 11, I will always stick with 12 Pro Max, really. So if you are thinking of going into creating video content and you want to consider the iPhone 12 series, I mean, you don't even have to think if you should go for maybe 12 mini or maybe 12 Pro or maybe normal 12. Just go for 12 Pro Max. And I'm actually going to break down reasons why I recommend Pro Max series of any iPhone. So in every single iPhone model, right, the Pro Max version of it is usually the best. Although Apple mostly advertise the Pro and the Pro Max as being the same, and the only difference would be maybe the screen size and maybe the battery life, right? But using 12 Pro, I've used 12 Pro and I've used 12 Pro Max. I can tell you for a fact that the camera quality of 12 Pro cannot be compared with 12 Pro Max, although they are the same. But for some reasons, I can't really tell why. So in any iPhone that you are looking to buy, if the sizes of Pro Max versions of it are not really a problem to you, because some people don't really like bigger phones, right? If the size being too big is not a problem to you, please always go for the Pro Max version, because it's not just about the screen. The battery life of these phones is usually top notch compared to the Pro, just the Pro version. And also the camera quality. Yes, the camera quality is usually better than the Pro Max, the Pro, although Apple do advertise it as being same thing. I know what you're thinking. Can I see you get iPhone 12 Pro Max or maybe any iPhone series in 2025 or 2026, right? Unfortunately, the answer is no, because Apple had stopped the production of any iPhone that has to do with the 12 series, even the 13, even the 14, even the 15, and possibly the 16, because at the time of making this video, 17 is already out. So in the next couple of months, you won't even find brand new 16 series. So if anyone is telling you maybe iPhone 13, iPhone 14, iPhone 15, and most of the recent iPhones, if anyone tells you that they're selling brand new, they are probably selling you refurbished, or they are probably selling you fairly used. So you have to be very careful. Actually, I fell victim of buying either a cloned or a refurbished iPhone. That was my iPhone 14 Pro Max. It was a terrible experience, and it's something you don't want to go through. And I don't want to, start telling you how it was. That's actually a story for another day. So now that I've recommended, sort of a budget iPhone for your video content creation, which is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. And if it is an iPhone that you want to consider buying, or maybe just any iPhone that's ranging from maybe iPhone 15 downward, and you want to buy this phone as maybe fairly used, maybe UK used as we call it in Nigeria and all, you have to do your due diligence. And I'm going to be stating a couple of things you need to consider, a couple of things you need to check before you go ahead with the purchase, right? So I have about 7 things you need to check before buying any iPhone, that even if the vendor is telling you this phone is new, it has not been used, so long as the phone is maybe iPhone 15 and below, these are the things you need to consider before making payments. And the first on the list is screen quality. So the first thing you want to do is just to hold down a particular application, and then you move it, and then you move this application around your screen to make sure that there are no dead pixels on the screen. The next thing you want to do is for you to check the true tone of the phone. So this true tone of a thing is now being maneuvered by some smart guys out there. I mean, even cloned phones and phones that the screens has been changed, they now have a way of adding a true tone to it. Before now, it wasn't possible for them to add true tone to any iPhone screen that has been replaced. The next thing you want to do is to check the brightness of the phone if it is adjustable. If it is not, then the screen is bad and you should not continue with the purchase. The second on the list is speaker check. You have to check if the speaker is good by playing any random music, or you can just open a browser and maybe go to YouTube and then find some videos, play, and while checking the speaker, make sure both the top speaker and the bottom are playing, and you can even try maybe making calls. The next thing you want to do is camera check, right? If it is maybe a Pro Max series, Pro Max usually comes with 3 cameras. So any phone that comes with 3 cameras, it simply means that it's going to have different meters. So what I mean by different meters is, for instance, this 12 Pro Max has 0.5 meter, it has 1 meter, and it has 2.5 meters. So each of these meters or each of these options are being dedicated to each camera, right? So you have to check if the 3 cameras are working by toggling or maybe changing it from a particular meter to the other. And then after checking that, make sure you record a video, and after recording you have to play if the video is literally playing and if the audio with the video is playing as well. The next thing you want to do is to check the battery health, right? So most of these refurbished and fairly used iPhones, especially the ones that was being created some years back, if you see any of these iPhones with 100% battery health, that is actually a red flag, because iPhone battery health can be boosted, and once you start using it, trust me, it's not going to be up to maybe 1 or 2 months. The battery is literally going to drop significantly to its actual battery health status. Another thing you should check is, let's say for instance you are getting maybe iPhone 15 series. If the battery is like maybe 100%, there could be a possibility that the phone was not really used, right? And the battery has not been boosted as well. And for you to confirm that, you have to check the battery charge cycle count, because on iPhone you could be able to see how many times a particular phone's battery has been charged. So the cycle count would help you to understand that if the battery has been charged for maybe 50 times, it means the user really did not make use of it, because it is possible for you to charge your phone for up to 50 times in a month, right? So if the battery charge count is as little as maybe 50, 100, and you still have like maybe 90 something percent of the battery life or battery health, then it's actually a good one. Another thing you should look out for is to make sure you don't buy any used iPhone that the battery health is maybe below 80. Just make sure that the battery health is maybe 85, 90, 99 and so on. But for this particular reason, most of the vendors do have to boost it, because they know that people won't buy iPhones that the battery health is below 80, or maybe most iPhones that the battery health is below 80 are usually less valuable. So for them to be able to sell it at premium, they have to boost the battery health to maybe 100% to make you feel like it's a brand new phone. The next thing you want to check is SIM lock. Some iPhones are country specific, some iPhones are network specific. So some iPhones that are network specific means that since it is built for a particular network service provider, it can't be used by any other network provider in another country. So if that iPhone was maybe a country specific or network specific, it might not work for you, and that is actually what you have to check out before actually making payments. Another way for you to confirm this is to copy the IMEI of that particular iPhone, and then you visit this website, which I'm going to also drop the link in the description of this video. Then you check if the iPhone was locked, because some of these iPhones are stolen and some of these iPhones are locked, and if it was maybe a stolen or a locked iPhone, you will not be able to use it over time. So the next thing you want to check is the connectivity. You have to check the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth connectivity if it's working perfectly, and also you turn on the AirDrop. Try sharing some files. Maybe you share a file to any Apple device, or you actually try receiving some files, and if this works, then you are good to go. Another important thing is Face ID. Some stolen iPhones, the Face ID has been deactivated, and for you to make sure you are not actually buying a stolen iPhone, you have to make sure that the Face ID is working perfectly by trying to register Face ID. You lock the screen and then try opening it with your face to see if it's actually working. Now, before rushing off to check out used iPhones, here is one last tip. If you are serious about content creation, don't settle for less. The iPhone 12 Pro Max might be an older model, but it still stands strong against new devices in terms of quality and performance. So if you are thinking of upgrading your phone or starting your content creation journey, I strongly recommend iPhone 12 Pro Max. I mean, this is not an advert actually. It is based on my own opinion, my experience, and what a couple of people have said, as well as, something I feel I should share with you as my best friend. So go for this phone, and also there are possibilities that you might actually get a bad one, but make sure you do your due diligence and check out the 7 things I listed before you get any used iPhone. And if you're able to, lay hands on the best iPhone 12 Pro Max, trust me, you won't regret it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, and make sure you subscribe to this channel for more content like this one. If you have any question, drop it in the comments below, and if you have used iPhone 12 Pro Max before to shoot video content, share your experience in the comments below. And yes, let me stress this again, make sure you subscribe for more content like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.